Cigar. We've seen it pretty much consistently throughout tonight, seeing either one of these or both of these getting banned out. LunatiK then first picking Ufa, seeing it a lot as well, also been a pretty safe call. Goat responding with the Jaina Valor, getting those range damage deals out as soon as possible. LunatiK with ETC Tyrande, getting that long range carry support in the form of Tyrande, and what most people consider to be the tier 1 warrior in the form of ETC. Goat bringing in Tassadar and Diablo, and LunatiK picking up to Zagara, and now they're on their 5th pick.
And that's how you catch up in a quick New York minute. So, LunatiK eSports, you know, they've been in the ESL majors. They didn't quite make it to the big final playoffs, but this is the last week that the Go4Heroes ESL series will actually feed into the majors. From here on out, it will actually be in a new league called the Open, and the Go4Heroes will become its own independent. So LunatiK eSports still gunning for gold here, as they want those points to rejoin the major series. And coming out with this, I mean, Uther, Tyrande, ETC, we've seen that time and again. It's a very powerful combo here in this current meta. And having that backline Zagara, you need to put some kind of other DPS with it, I feel. You cannot just solely rely on it. And it looks like they won't. They're actually going to put a Tychus there as their 5th here for Sky Temple.
Damn time.
Yep, Tychus will be the 5th player for them. Goat relying on Jaina and Valor, and like you said, Tychus and Zagara for LunatiK eSports with the help of that Hunter's Mark and just plain old Tyrande damage, which isn't too bad as is. Goat, like you said, finishing off with the Brightwing. We saw it used to great effect in one of our earlier games. We saw it used in the last game, where it was basically Brightwing versus ETC for a good portion of the late game, where Brightwing was pushing and ETC was defending.
I mean, with that stage dive, you can match that global presence. I mean, that's just one of the bigger advantages to it. We don't really see a lot of mosh pits these days. I mean, if you have a good amount of stuns under your belt and, you know, looking back and forth, the Diablo with the Apocalypse, we got the Reign of Vengeance possibilities. We got Polymorph coming into that as well. There's a lot of ways to stop out mosh pits, and it's very rare that we don't have teams with such high CC values these days. So stage dive, you know, a lot of teams have learned to play around it.
Indeed, like I think last week I finished casting the DreamHack qualifiers, where pretty much every game there was an ETC and every game it ran stage dive, and it turned out to be stage dive that was the winning/losing play in the grand final of SK versus El Nexo, where a 14% unshielded core on the side of El Nexo, and the only player alive on SK was an ETC who tried to stage dive onto the core, where he could have soloed it if he'd managed it due to all of El Nexo trying to rush to SK's base, but he did it via minimap, jumped straight up and came straight down in the exact same spot.
I mean, you go up and down and all around and around the world you might go, but hey, whatever gets you the kills, man. Whatever gets it. You know, a lot of people actually, you know, they see the stage dive as the global presence. They forget that there's a slowing portion on top of that as well, and that slow will affect executioner comps if that's going to be the case. So, you know, it's not only damage, but the global pressure and the slow. It can definitely turn around some of those games. But if you guys haven't been with us before, this is on the blue hand side, the LunatiK eSports lineup. Psylol with the ETC top, Hospital, Proteges, and Shot. Actually, I think Shot is trying out. I do not believe he's part of the permanent roster. And Slime to be holding down the bottom lane there with Zagara. This is LunatiK looking for their ticket to the finals.
And on the right-hand side, in the red trunks, currently scaring away ETC, it is going to be Goat Gaming. We saw them earlier. It's going to be Fury running the Diablo. Equinox, this time, going to be Givergut rescinding his Tyrande role for something with a bit more survivability in the form of Tassadar. Base Drop running on the Jaina. We're going to be seeing Pifix on the in the top lane on the Valor, and in the bot lane, it is going to be Lex Ufa, this time on the Brightwing.
Yeah, Lex Uther is definitely a very big support kind of fellow. Mid lane gets a little bit of harass going back and forth. Shot is on the wrong side of this line of scrimmage, though, Tetcher. He's getting perma-slowed here by base drop, and here comes the support now from the team. But Fury goes in, the overpower, and that will be the first kill on top of the Tyrande. Equinox is body blocking him.
Equinox, please, come on now. Put it together.
So that
is going to be a 1-for-1.
Oops.
Damn it, Equinox, get it together.
Not only did he demand the Divine Shield in the first game we saw, now he's body blocking his own teammates, man. What is this? What is this?
Oh dear, Equinox. I love you so much. He's gonna be back. He's gonna be backing up. Both teams running triple lane. Oh, we're gonna see Ufa getting locked down here thanks to the overpower, but Equinox getting dropped low. He dimensional shifts last second, and he is able to escape. Ufa was not so lucky. He will go down. Equinox able to survive this time, and backs out, keeping himself alive. Ufa has respawned though. He will be coming back in time to fight for the temples, and because Equinox dropped so low, he's not there for his team to help fight over this middle temple. However, top temple is going to go the way of Goat Gaming thanks to base drop and Piffix.
Yeah, there's no reason to really fight this early game unless you have a clear-cut advantage, and right now LunatiK is on the disadvantageous side because they're down about somewhere between a half and a quarter level. Not only did ETC actually lose out experience trying to do a little bit of that early roaming up against Pythix, but now no bottom lane. I mean, Lex Luthor was sitting there. Slime came up top looking for that fight as well, but they didn't get one. So you see the experience advantage continuing to grow here. Level 5 now achieved for Goat Gaming. It doesn't mean too much in terms of the tempo trade because it does look like they will go entirely for the trade. But, you know, in terms of the next tempo, I mean, if you can get 7 before your opponents, you can get 10 before your opponents. That's a huge advantage going for the next temple spawn.
Very much so. And like I said, that XP difference is going to be pretty big as the game goes on. So they need to make something back. And someone, I think it was Brightwing, has managed to... Oh, no, it wasn't Brightwing. Someone has managed to sneak the Stone Boys.
Yeah, the Tyrande and the Tychus. They're now working on the Stone Bros on the opposite side. So they've been very active in terms of the jungle so far.
Been doing a pretty good job, although Hospital taking a bit of damage. He's going to need a Hospital quite soon, but he has a Tyrande, so that'll do. Will heal him up. And they'll be able to grab those Stone Bows pretty nicely. Having a look at some of the talents, we do see standard builds out of pretty much everyone. Melting Point out of Tychus, just chunks keeps and forts in the late game, and is pretty good at clearing the minion waves. Shield coming out of Ufa, just for defensive. Lex Ufa going to boost his way out of there, make sure it doesn't get picked off. And Sagara going for the Envenom Swines, pretty standard. Envenom coming out of Jaina just for the burst damage, and Vala sticking with the plain old multi-shot build.
Well, that means that we don't have Arcane Intellect then from the Jaina, so she might actually end up with mana issues later on. There's no Malfurion here and no other way for her to recoup that mana as of yet. So, you know, as I said, trading out for the damage rather than the longevity, we'll have to see if that works out for her, because it absolutely will if you can continually burst people down. But in terms of burst, this bottom lane, Tetcher, I mean, this is actually setting up very nicely for the bottom temple, because if LunatiK can grab it, it will guarantee the fort kill.
Yeah, very much so. We actually saw how effective Tychus' Melting Point was there at killing off those towers, and look at that, completely one-shots minions, over time, of course, thanks to that burn, but still able to get it. And like you said, they are very much in control of this bottom lane, and look at the creep spread out of Slime. Just gives them full vision of the temple and surrounding areas. They are more than prepared to fight over this. In the top lane, this looks familiar. ETC currently defending against a Brightwing push.
And a mule. You see, is that Tyrande mule? It is a Tyrande mule. So that, what's at level 7 these days for her? True Shot was moved. What's the level 7?
It's the
Lunar
extra
Flare.
range. Yeah, it's the extra range on the sun.
So she is going to forego that for the mule. If you have to have a mule, I would say that the best maps for it is definitely Blackheart's Bay or Sky Temple. Sky Temple definitely a bit more normal, I want to say, because you can just mule up while you're getting attacked, and you know you won't actually lose out the mule for that full duration.
Yeah, you want to minimize the amount of buildings that are killed off by those laser beams. So dropping mules
Example
whenever
A,
possible.
right here.
Example A, yeah, dropping the mule on this building will heal it up and make sure that it does not go down to the temple, and it will continue to heal afterwards, meaning that more shots from the next temple set will go to killing off this particular fort. And for now, though, Hospital, on his own defending, manages to dash out of Chaos Fury's range, but he still does go down. So, unfortunately, this mule is going to be in vain, and this fort will go down to Fury Piffix and base drop from the side of Goat.
Yeah, he tried
top lane. Top lane pushing very hard at Equinox. He's running for his life. He does have Dimensional Shift now, but he's going to be able to... Oh, maybe not. There's the stun. There's the Dimensional Shift. Brightwing coming in for the heal. There's the shield. There's not the stun. Nice cleanse there out of Lex... out of just Flame Ufa, I think. No, that was in fact Lex Ufa. There comes the strafe shot being dropped low, and the final strafe shot is able to pick him off. Slime is now on the run. He's completely oomed. And there's the stun. The flip going on to Cycle instead. He's going to be able to get out. But Go Gaming picking up a couple kills there. Their top 40 is under a little bit of harassment, thanks to the fact that the wizard from the Bruiser camp is still alive and is continuing to push. But still looking pretty good for Go Gaming. They hit level 10, used it to their advantage. And finally, we are seeing level 10 for LunatiK eSports. And fairly standard stuff. We are seeing Divine Shield once again out of Ufa. Other than that, pretty standard stuff out of everyone.
Yeah, the big thing to take away there is that we had the heroics ready to go from Goat Gaming that fight, and as you saw, I mean, they got themselves the kills, the counter pressure. We also had the bribe come out from Brightwing, take away the Stone Bros into the bottom lane. So despite all that setup there from LunatiK and crew, they weren't really able to capitalize on any fort in any lane between the setup for the temple bottom, between those bruisers into the top. So really nice defense from Goat, and now they're also going to be pushing out LunatiK from this bottom lane as well. The second set of this golems are going to go the way of Goat. And will we see a boss? I'm thinking no. It's a little bit too early, too risky, because we also got this temples now spawning in 5 seconds. But how are the temples going to go, Tetcher?
Well, at the moment, it does look like Goat are going to move into the top temple and gain control of that. They already have vision on Slime, and down he goes. Very quick burst here. Nice devouring more, though. That will at least slow down Team Goat for a bit. Fury takes a Lunar Flare to the face and is going to have to back up for a bit. But top temple, or mid temple at least, is still going to go in favor of Team Goat Gaming here without too much error. However, we are seeing LunatiK making a dash for the bottom temple, going to try and take control of that, but Hospital is running backwards and leaving his Ufa all alone, and Lex, Ufa, and Pifix going to try and do the damage. Nice interrupt of the strafe there by that grenade. Hospital, though, having to pop his first stage. There comes the Odin, but that doesn't give you a second health pool anymore. Divine Shield coming in, and they're going to chase Goat Gaming out of here. Goat Gaming on the run. There's the blink heal out of Lex, Ufa, pretty escape. In comes Fury onto Hospital, and he goes down. Lightning Breath being used over the wall, won't get the full duration off, but he's going to go in and see if he can catch someone out here. Ufa just going to stun Diablo and try and run away. And Shot not going to be so lucky, trapped by base drop and Epifix in the runaway form. And yeah, Ufa's pretty much guaranteed to go down here. You can't run forever, friend. Yep, down he goes. Equinox is coming in from the top anyway.
The drive-by.
I wish you could use one form of attack from Tassadar. I don't care what it is, while he was in his jet form, so you could just do drive-by storms or something like that.
Interesting decision from Goat Gaming. They get themselves the kills, the counter pressure. They are now 14, a full 2 levels above their opponents, and all 5 of them go right into the boss. Do they know that they didn't finish off the temple?
I'm pretty sure they did, because the temple they can grab at any point due to the fact that the neutral stuff doesn't really do that much damage. It makes much more sense to go after the thing that would be most contested by Team LunatiK if they were to try and take it when they were all alive. They can grab the temple. As you can see, Tassadar taking it all on his own at this point. So while the team of LunatiK were dead, it made a lot more sense to go for the golem while they would have no contestation, and it would be free for them. So it's basically free damage. As we're seeing, it is doing a lot of damage. However, great job by LunatiK clearing it up with the combination of Zagara, the Hunter's Mark from Hospital. Oh, strafe! And the cleanse onto Pifix going to keep him alive. And we're still going to see Goat Gaming still with Bruiser Camp.
Yeah, the positioning advantage that Goat Gaming afforded themselves with that boss, sure, it didn't really do the damage it needed to in the bottom lane, but it did keep them busy, and they were able to snipe out that Bruiser cam. Now they can go back, grab their own, and that will be a double Bruiser push that IV Slime is likely just to deal with on his own. I mean, he has a lot of tools for the wave clear, so I think LunatiK's just going to leave it to him, as it looks like they are going to go for their own Siege Giants here into the bottom area of the map. But we got the 5-man roam coming out, and this is actually a very dire situation for LunatiK, because they are still not 13, although that will about to change. But even with now their 13 talents, they're looking at a possibly 16 team on the next temple spawns.
Yep, we're currently seeing, like you said, Go Gaming roaming around the map, grabbing as much XP as they can. They're looking for that level 16 so they can keep that talent advantage. And if they keep it up at this pace, they're probably going to get it. We're seeing Equinox putting off there to grab some more XP. Bottom lane still being pushed very hard, and Pifix clearing up creep as he goes. This minion wave, I believe, should be enough to give them their level 16, and that means we're not even going to see a effective defense here out of LunatiK, as they're once again at a talent deficit.
Yep. 16 coming in. That's a pretty hype tier because it's the last tier before those storms. And I mean, everything comes in. The Tassadar is now super hard to kill. We got the blood for blood and the searing attacks there from the Valla. She can absolutely burst down anybody on that front line. The Criterize is going to complement the damage so very well. And now we also got the Fire Stomp. So damage, damage, damage. It's a big damage boost coming out here for GOAT. And as I said, level 16 by the next temple spawn. We got temples top, we got them bottom, and it looks like we're going to go for the bruisers before either of those are even going to be on the menu. But 16, 14, GOAT Gaming so far. I've just been playing this map excellently.
Yep, very much so. Going to be taking full control, and there are the temples. Bot temple already under control of Team LunatiK, and they're in fact going to get bottom 4 for this. However, GOAT aren't having any of this. Not even going to go for top temple. They know they can win a fight, so they're going to roll their way in here and force LunatiK out of this temple. Slime gets shadow charged, and in comes the push. Lightning Breath going down. We're seeing as much of a disengagement as possible. Very nice more. Going to at least buy them some time, and there goes. Wow, that's really good by LunatiK, able to pick off Jada here, thanks to the combination of the Odin damage and the nice more. There's a Divine Shield onto the Odin, but Ufa will still go down. They're trying to deal as much damage as possible. Fury is on the run, and he looks like he made his game, but Pivik is not so lucky, and LunatiK winning this fight. Equinox, nice dimensional shift, great timing, able to keep himself alive. Hospital getting overpowered, but Fury may have just given his life for his team here. Blink heal, coming in to save. There's the shield. Fury is so low down. He goes. He does have his revive, but now, because his teammates stayed to help him, they are in some serious duress. Equinox try to escape here. There's the shield, and that will force Cycle back. And Lex Ufa took basically no damage in that, as he was not the main target.
It's very impressive that even like 2 levels down, LunatiK can still take as many kills as they did against this comp. It's 11 kills to 4 by the end of it all, but because of the catch-up bonus, because of those level 16s, those kills, we're almost level 16 now for LunatiK, which is going to nullify a lot of the advantage that we had going for GOAT Gaming. The Maw was super on point. Zagara with that Maw was the reason that we were able to come back there from LunatiK. So not only did they get that experience, they're going to get a few of those temple shots, and now they're going top for the contesting of the top temple. And if they get that full duration, that will clear out the top and very likely clear out the mid as well.
Yep, they're going to try and hold this as well as they can. GOAT moving their way up. They want to contest. They still do have a 2-level advantage, so this is their chance. Everyone is here. We will see the stage dive from ETC, so we can come in and help his team. Hospital going to be lightning breath, and there is the stage dive. The Maw only lands onto Jaina, and Brywig, sorry. She does come out, is able to stay alive. The Divine Shield once again being dropped onto Hospital. He's throwing as much damage as possible. Down goes ETC. He was out of position. Zagara was killed off earlier as well. And this is more the GOAT Gaming we saw earlier. Once again, taking back control, taking a more favorable engagement for them, and winning that fight. And once again, doing exactly what we saw last time, heading for the boss while there are members down, so they have less congestion, leaving Brightwing to just take out the neutral stuff in the top lane so they can grab this temple. She can teleport down to the boss at any point, so she can abandon this if she sees that all members of LunatiK are down here. Equinox having to pay shift, and in comes the Brightwing. Here will be the fight. Shot manages to escape, actually. Very nearly got killed off. Ufa does get killed off and drops a heal onto Shot as his last dying wish, basically. But GOAT Gaming going to be able to take this golem. And we're seeing Zagara and ETC just charge their way out to the top lane. I think they want to maybe try and steal at least a couple of these shots. Maybe they're just going to play it cautiously. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to play it more cautiously and just clear the minion wave instead.
Well, we have a good chance here for the triple minions into the bottom, but it looks like Lex Luthor's instead just going to use out the bribe stacks right there rather than going back and then zetting back into the fight. And this is a very powerful push because we're 15 minutes in. There's no keep, so the Mercs are going to march right up to the core. Curse is now going to be, or Fury is going to try to now just clear the lane, and they got 2 levels advantage. They're nearly level 20. These next 2 creep waves actually might be enough for level 20 hype here from GOAT Gaming in order to finish this game. LunatiK is now all back and spawn. Protege is marching down the line. Another great Maw.
That was nice. Can they follow it up? They follow it up. Stage dive is going to be the follow-up. The damage from the Odin is coming out. Base drop able to back out of there and stay alive, but Valla did go down, and base drop actually going to be killed off by Zypho here. Fury goes down. We're going to see Ufa taking a lot of damage, but they're able to turn to Lex Ufa. He is able to blink out, actually, and they went for the core. Golem, Lex Ufa, and Equinox just microing around the core there. Lex Ufa able to blink heal himself away to keep himself alive and drop his damage as well. And that is GG Goat Gaming, despite nearly all dying, able to take the game and move on to the grand final.
Definitely the favorites going into that was LunatiK. They've been an established team for a while. Goat Gaming is just more a bit of, buddies playing together. They've continually changed out their roster a good bit, but that was extremely strong. Not only did we see Goat Gaming with the previous win on one of our previous rounds, but now coming out and beating out, LunatiK here, that is definitely a really good point in their favor. And they move on to finals. They're looking for those seeding points, $100 to the team that gets first place today as well. You cannot discount that fact. And that means that coming up next will actually be finals, but we have to actually get word about that. So it's either we're going to do finals or Hostelot, who's also providing coverage, will be doing them, and we will get third place if there will be a third place match. Most people don't actually decide to play it out. I mean, there's no seeding. The seeding points are very minimal. There's no cash prize, so not entirely too sure. But Mr. Tetcher, in case we are done, tell us a little bit about yourself, where people can find you, and thanks again so much for coming in today for the ESL NA stuff.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to see stuff on the other side of the pond. I don't see it nearly enough. But yeah, I am a caster from the United Kingdom. At the moment, Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, but I'm retiring from Hearthstone after this Insomnia, as it will be the last Insomnia before they start introducing Heroes tournaments, so I won't have any more excuses to cast Hearthstone. So I am a Heroes of the Storm caster. You can find me on youtube.com/Tetcher, where I upload all of my casts, and I also upload highlights from my Hero League games where I play with friends, I play with SK, I play with other casters, like, for example, Hoss, and I'm currently leveling up my NA account so I can maybe do the same on the NA side. Maybe not Hero League, maybe just Quick Match, because with the latency, I wouldn't want to put that onto my teammates in Hero League. Tempo Storm seem to manage it, but I am not that good. You can find me on twitter.com as well, /Tetcher, and you will also see me at DreamHack Bucharest in late April, where I will be casting the Heroes of the Storm tournament there, which I am super excited about. I'll be casting that with Caldor. Very excited to head out there, and that pretty much covers it. Heroes all the time.
I'm just inquiring to see if a third place match will actually occur. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, Tetcher is that's public, right?
What,
your upcoming work? Yeah.
Yes, that's
okay.
public.
Phew, I was just like, oh shit, did I? Okay, it's all good.